Closing the block. They've been beat on some of those blocks, leaving a gap. They will want to identify Loyola's key hitters.
And now for Loyola.
Yeah, Coach Davis talked to us at the beginning of the season about aggressive serving, really putting pressure by serving those seams, and also keeping the middles involved. Klein has one of the highest hitting percentages on Loyola's side. They want to keep the middles involved so that they can keep the other block honest.
Loyola off a win here at home over Manhattan last night, a program new to NCAA men's volleyball, but they have victories this season over Hawaii and Stanford, and their losses have come against Hawaii, the number 3 ranked team of the country, UCLA number 1, and Pepperdine number 6. Opening serve comes from Daniel Fabakovic. First attack is from Luke Chandler on the Triton side. Shosha got it over the block, good up there in the back. Soa will set Shosha, and a good block touch, but not good enough as Prevednikov in the back row there can't keep it going, and it's 1-0 Loyola.
Talk about those pin hitters on Loyola's side being so efficient. Shosha there, 2 really good swings off high hand, sending those balls deep. UC San Diego able to bring the first back, but not the second.
Loyola hit .493 in their match last night, as there's a block by Klein and Shosha. And the Ramblers had 7 block points in the match last night. UC San Diego's opponent last night, Lewis, had 15 against them in 5 sets.
Klein came into this match leading the team in blocks, so we will see him hustle side to side, closing those blocks all night.
Yeah, 29 now on the year. 3rd in the MIVA in blocks per set. And the first point of the match for the Tritons is Sebastiano Sani, who played last year at Long Beach State, part of a national championship winning team.
And we'll hear his name called often tonight. He's the go-to hitter for UC San Diego.
A junior from Bethesda, Maryland, first season at UC San Diego. The serve by John Lewers. Back row attack, Fabakovic. Van Ooyen sets it in the middle for Klein. And Aiden Klein, who's hitting .439 here early on in the season, makes it 3-1 Loyola.
Also a key contributor, speaking of going back to serve, from the service line, has a handful of aces, digs as well, so getting it done kind of on both sides of the court as a middle hitter.
He had 4 aces last night against Manhattan, has 6 on the season. Puts that one in the net, though. It'll be 3-2. Mentioned the tough competition that Loyola's had. UC San Diego, their losses, all 3 of them, against teams ranked inside the top 10. A couple of matches lost at BYU, and they also dropped a match to number 1 UCLA back on January the 23rd, but a big-time road win last night against number 9 Lewis after being down 2-0, be able to come back and get the reverse sweep.
Each of those sets was incredibly close in that match, too. They had to fight every single point in that match.
Served by Shosha. Middle attack, the swing by Peter Selcho. Coming over here for the Ramblers. Van Ooyen, the back set to Shosha, and the block didn't come together. And Shosha takes advantage of it, 5-2.
That was one of those keys of the games we talked about on that UC San Diego side, closing the block. Here we see a gap in the block there. Number 24 not able to close it, and leaves Shosha that hard cross court.
Shosha, the transfer from Quincy University in his first season as a Loyola Rambler, and that spins out on the serve, so 5-3. UC San Diego last night, that was their first reverse sweep in 3 years. And also, it's their second top 10 road win in the last 5 years, and now they could potentially do it back-to-back nights. Getting a touch on the block was Bell. Schellinger against his former team gets the kill.
2 nice swings there from Schillinger. One tooled off the block. UC San Diego able to play it up. The second one there was able to tool it off and down the sideline as well. We'll see him contributing from all aspects of the court. Great serve receive, good, solid defense as well. A key addition to this program.
Yeah, he missed the first 2 weekends of the season. And that was blocked by Bell. Now Bell and Fabakovic reject it. On the left side, the Provednikov attack. Schellinger will pick up back-to-back terminations. Schellinger saw his first action in the Pepperdine match last Friday. Played the final 2 sets, had 5 kills, hit 571. And last night he had 13 kills, hit 591 against Manhattan. Honorable mention All-American last year for UC San Diego. But an Illinois native coming back home. As that'll be side out for the Tritons at 7-4. So you look at Jim Garrison, a senior middle from Manhattan Beach, California.
And a nice run up the middle. We see UC San Diego going pin to pin most often, so good to use the middle when they have that perfect pass. Again, keep that Loyola block, paying attention to their middle hitter.
Luke Chandler on the serve. Van Ooyen over to Fabakovic. Keeping it alive was Keegan Cook, one of the 2 liberos for the Tritons. And they got a couple points in a row here. And pull within 2 at 7-5.
Yeah, a little bit of a miscommunication error on the Loyola defense there. They weren't sure who was picking up those high hands. Ball just fell at the very last minute.
This is such great competition for both of these 2 teams to get them prepared for each of their conference schedules. More on that here in a moment as Fabakovic. The up by Sani. The attack by Provednikov. Yeah, that's 3 straight for the Tritons to make it 7-6. Much like Loyola, UC San Diego out of a very talented conference, the Big West, where all 6 programs within the league are ranked inside the top 20. With Long Beach State, last year's national champions, number 2, and Hawaii, number 3. Sosha down the line. Alexander Sosha makes it 8-6.
Hits well from both aspects of the court, right front row and back. Maybe more deadly out of the back row. So we will see that back row, we call it the D ball. We'll see that run all night with Sosha on Loyola's side.
Yeah, that back right, especially in the Pepperdine match last week. The first time we saw him in person here at Loyola was so good with that. Goes over off of Schellinger. Down to keep it up was Chandler. Now Schellinger again just pushes it through the block and down, and Schellinger has his 3rd kill.
And well handled there. I think Schellinger thought they were running a higher ball, maybe wasn't expecting it, said, whoa, my bad, that was that Bick, the quick back row, but Schellinger handled it very well in order to just tool it off the block and earn a point there.
Brad Bell with the serve for the Ramblers. Tight here at the net, and solo block for the setter, Alex Spitz-Van Ooyen, who's now started 6 consecutive matches in the absence of Ryan McElligott.
Very well read by Smith-Van Ooyen on that solo block. Klein got stuck with Garrison in the middle. That's what we talk about, keeping your middles honest. But Smith-Van Ooyen did a great job stepping in. Chandler
down the line, and Bell can't handle it. And so our player to watch off the top here, Luke Chandler, has his 1st kill. 10-7 Loyola here in the 1st set. Mentioned the Big West with all 6 of their programs ranked to the top 20. How about the MIVA now with 6 teams still ranked, and then a 7th team, Purdue-Fort Wayne, now receiving votes. And just Stephanie, I think I got distracted there maybe by Shane Davis, maybe halfway out on the court.
I did think he wanted to play, but Schillinger on the save here. Smith-Van Ooyen got blocked, and the ball came almost straight back down, and Schillinger from the middle back picked the ball up at the net. I mean, it was absolutely fantastic defense.
Here is Alex Spitz-Van Ooyen, a redshirt sophomore from Las Vegas out of Coronado High School. And it'll sail along as he's taken over the starters' duties at setter after Ryan McElligott's injury in the 2nd game of the Hawaii trip, the match that the Ramblers won at Hawaii. Fabakovic, the 2-time All-American, too strong with it, and it's 11-9.
And last weekend we saw Fabakovic with a slightly slower start as well. That first set was a little bit off. The team ended up leaning more on Sosha. We'll see if they go to Schellinger there while Fabakovic settles down just a little.
Served by Jim Garrison. Klein off the quick set from Van Ooyen.
Coach Davis talked to us about how the middles have switched spots this season, essentially. Klein's in that M1 where he can go behind the setter more often. So this is one of those rotations, though, where we see him run in front of the setter based on where he is in the rotation.
Of course, graduating an All-American from the middle, and Dean Meyer, of course, All-American, and Parker Van Buren. Two key contributors to last year's NCAA tournament appearance for Loyola. You see San Diego trying to get back to the NCAA tournament. They certainly have the talent to do so. There's just so few spots and so many other talented teams to deal with within their own league, much like Loyola. Now 13-10. They played a 5-setter last year in La Jolla. These two programs did, and Loyola won. And here's the serving specialist, Lucas Anderson, who 3 aces on the season. Chandler against a triple block, and well done by the senior from Newport Beach, California.
Yeah, able to just squeak it through. The pass was quite off the net. The setter did a good job bringing the ball back. Almost clipped that top scoreboard up there, but missed it by just a couple inches. But a nice job by Chandler for finding the hands and the court.
Tritons 4-3, Ramblers 4-3 on the season. You see San Diego ranked number 11. Or if you want to be specific here, they're actually tied number 11 with McKendree, of course, out of the MIVA. Bell didn't get all of it. Long back set to Chandler, blocked by Bell and Schellinger.
And one of the things Coach Davis talked to us about Brad Bell was that he's really focusing on that side-to-side closing of the block, which we saw right there with him and Schellinger. So really well done to get there, turn their hands back in, and seal the net.
14-11 Loyola. They get the next point, or once they get to 15, send us to a timeout here as Vendikov with the attack. Here's Schellinger, and that's going to reach the stands. And Josh Schellinger at this mid-set timeout has racked up 4 kills, and his team has a 4-point lead.
Prior to heading into conference, build that RPI for the end of the season. So this is one of those important matches to both programs.
Yeah, you want to build it for that resume purpose, but also, again, gets you ready for your own conference with how strong both the Big West and the MIVA are. And out of the timeout, a block point for the Tritons. The first they've had today. Loyola has 3. Loyola is hitting .409 so far. UC San Diego at 143. And that'll be a service error for the second time today for UC San Diego.
And one of the things we haven't talked about yet, UC San Diego uses 2 liberos. A true use of 2. They've got number 5 in, Boyle, for serve receive. Then when they go back to serve, we see number 7, Keegan Cook, rotated to play that defensive-minded position.
And there is Boyle to the floor on the serve receive. And his great job on the serve receive leads to that big-time point from Sebastiano Sani, his second kill.
And he's had a few very nice handlings on those serve receives. Very tough Loyola serves and well handled. Now we've got number 17, Cook, back on the floor for UC San Diego since they'll be on defense. So really interesting to watch the differences in how the libero's used.
Schellinger, an overpass from the Chandler serve. And there's Leo Prevendikov, junior from Long Beach.
We talked about those keys to the game. UC San Diego, important to control first contact. There we see on the Loyola side, also important to control first contact. Put 2 first contacts back over the net and just gave UC San Diego too many chances.
It's also important to know with this UC San Diego program that across athletics there, they have fully elevated from Division II to Division I. Now, of course, within NCAA men's volleyball, Division I, Division II are married together, but all the other athletics teams have now moved up to being at Division I, and that really, changes things. And it's a lot of financial stuff that goes into that, and it's helping to build up this UC San Diego team. More resources. As Aiden Delorier with the serve for the Ramblers, and quickly Prevendikov gets it back here, but got a net violation on that swing, so give the point to Loyola. And a timeout will be called by UC San Diego. 18-14 Loyola here in the first set. So you'll get a pretty good look here. Yep, comes down on the swing on the net. So 18-14 Loyola here in the first set. Of course, just get another quick look at it. Yep, nothing to argue about there. And UC San Diego just calling timeout. They're not going to challenge that, of course. And so 18-14 Loyola here in the first set. UC San Diego, of course, played from behind yesterday and did very well. You mentioned how close it was. I mean, it was 25-22, 25-23, the Lewis victories. And then UC San Diego won their sets 25-23, 25-23, and 15-12. So, I mean, can't get much closer than that.
And you also wonder a bit, too, you've got a program that went a long 5 last night and a program that went a short 3. Does that play into, you know, how you feel physically today in terms of those back-to-back matches, how much energy you used, having to rest, recover, and you know, any injuries you might be nursing, versus Loyola had a pretty easy night of it last night. So they're well-rested, ready to go. We'll see if that factors in if this goes, you know, 4 or 5 sets here.
Aiden Delorier will have another serve. Freshman from Eastport, New York. And it goes long.
Coach's point, right? You call the timeout. Freezes the team up a little bit. You get that side out is what you're looking for. But Coach Davis on Loyola's side did talk to us about having quite a few of those serving subs that he's given the green light to go in and rip it. And so we are seeing them looking to try to hit the ball even harder.
Yeah, the keynote that we took from talking about Aiden Delorier a couple weeks ago is he's going to come in and he's going to rip the serve with confidence. And so he got the serve twice on that way through, and now the serve error is returned. And now we'll see Alex Smits-Van Ooyen, who began his career in the UC system at UC Santa Barbara back in 2024. Leaning back, and a powerful swing by Sani.
And a bit of a scramble on UC San Diego's side, handled really well by Lures, the setter, and then some miscommunication on Loyola's side in terms of who was blocking. They left Aiden Klein to solo block and ended up giving a little more court space than I think they meant to.
Loyola's led the entire way in this first set. Their largest advantage has been 4, and that's where it's back at now at 20-16.
And Shosha there, well handled on the outside. He's been an impact player in prior matches. And in that serve receive, we see Shosha hit on the outside, Fabrikovic on the right side, and Shosha just crushed that ball cross court.
Shosha and Schellinger both have 4 kills for the Ramblers. 3 each for Prevendikov and Sani for the Tritons. And Chandler picks up his 3rd kill now, and back to a 3-point difference.
Speaking of our other impact player of the game there, Chandler with that nice D-ball in the back row, and that brings him to the front row. That's important for UC San Diego because Lures, their setter, is a little bit undersized compared to some of the other athletes on the court. So now they've got a stronger right side blocker up.
Lures with that serve. Shosha goes off the block and out of bounds. And now just the teams trading points back and forth, keeping Loyola in this 3 to 4 point advantage.
Yeah, but once you're in that red zone, you hit that 20 point, all Loyola has to do is trade back and forth. If they can side out each point here, they'll win 25-21, if my math's correct.
Loyola's siding out at 77% so far. And there's the first ace of the night, and it comes from Aiden Klein, his 7th of the season and his 5th in the last 2 days. Timeout, Tritons at 22-17 Loyola. And Shane Davis has to be pretty pleased with the overall start to this one in his 14th season as the head coach. And there are the statistics. 480 for the Ramblers in the first set. The 214 for UC San Diego. And so right now, coming into the day today, opponents against Loyola are hitting .312 on the year. And that's actually all the way at the bottom in the nation. Now, say, oh, that's not great. But again, look at the competition, 2 games against Hawaii, Stanford, UCLA, Pepperdine. All right, got a little bit of a reprieve with Quincy and Manhattan, just to put it bluntly, and now playing another, obviously, really talented team in UC San Diego. I suppose that number is going to start to come down as the season progresses, and right now at 214 for the Tritons.
They're doing a nice job closing the block. That's one of the things that we talked about at the start of this match. But identifying those key hitters, getting 2 or 3 sets of hands up in front of them, turning the hands back in. And what that's resulted in is UC San Diego has had a few hitting errors. They've had a few plays where they've tipped or roll shotted over, so that might not show in the hitting percentage, but they're earning additional points from strong blocking.
Ramblers, after dropping their first home match of the season against Pepperdine, have won the last 2. They have won 45 of their last 51 matches here at Gentile Arena over the last 3 seasons and change. Trying to continue to make this place a house of horrors for the opposition. And it's all 3 timeouts we've had here in this set. UC San Diego has come out of it and got the next point.
And that set may be a little bit low there for Selcho, but well handled, was able to tip it over, use the hands, and find open court on Loyola's side.
Sani the serve at 68 miles per hour according to the radar gun, and Alexander Shosha, though, puts Loyola back up by 5.
That all started there by Fabakovic's pass. His hitting has been a little bit slow in the first set, but his serve receive has been phenomenal. That's something that we didn't see last weekend. They had a little bit of trouble that first set in serve receive. Loyola's serve receive strong, able to get Shosha that really solid set on the backside to terminate.
Shosha now serves. 23 to 19. And over on the UC San Diego side, it's going to be Selcho, who's a senior from Fountain Valley, California, serving for UC San Diego. An 18-12 season a year ago, 3-7 in the Big West. As Schellinger, part of that 18-12 team last year, eventually lost in the Big West semifinals to the eventual national champions, Long Beach State.
And there you actually saw Brad Bell distract the middle hitter on the UC San Diego side, which gave Schillinger a one-on-one hitting situation there.
Set point for Loyola. And we'll have set point number 2 now.
Sometimes a toss gets away from you. We maybe saw that the last 2 times there with Shosha and Schellinger. Kind of giggled at themselves, but again, all they need is one side out here.
Schellinger had to cover a lot of ground to get to that toss on the serve. Chandler. Soa on the serve receive. Van Ooyen back to Shosha, and a net violation by the Tritons will give Loyola that set point at 25 to 20. So Loyola leads the entire first set, and they lead 1-0 after 1 set of play here at. We're obviously last night able to adjust after a couple of losses in the first 2 sets against Lewis and come back and win that match. So what maybe are you looking for from this side of the court now from the Tritons as a response?
Yeah, well, first I think it'll be that first contact that we've talked about the whole night, making sure that passes near the 10-foot line to allow Lures to run the full offense. We might also at some point see a sub or 2 on UC San Diego side. They've had 2 setters that they've toggled between different pin hitters. They changed it up a bit last night at some point, so we might see substitutions as well to see if just different matchups are able to look a little different against Loyola's lineup.
Yeah, John Lures started today as the setter. He subbed in halfway through the second set yesterday against Lewis and then started in the final 3 sets. Cameron Worrell has been the starter at setter the prior 6 matches to today. We'll see if he's a 6'7" junior setter. And that's a service error by UC San Diego to begin the second set.
And that rotates Klein back on Loyola's side, who's been a very strong server throughout the season, but also tonight. So you go from a service error to a strong server back at the line.
3 kills, an ace, and a block for Klein so far today. As Schellinger, and that went, called that out of bounds, or was Schellinger in the net? I think it went out of bounds, Schellinger's attempt there. There was no touch. So it wasn't really a joust there.
An overpass, which normally would be advantage to the Loyola team, just pushed out of bounds. Maybe was looking for hands to press against, and UC San Diego pulled hands away.
Overpass there, and UC San Diego will have its first lead of the day.
Yeah, unfortunately on Loyola's side, there's Smith Van Ooyen's back row, so he's not able to touch the ball above the plane of the net and becomes an illegal back row blocker in that instance.
And Garrison will have a second serve. He had 6 kills last night, hit .333 in the win over Lewis. Van Ooyen to Bell. Knocked over. This time Schellinger, and an attack error. Just Loyola's 3rd error on the attack, and obviously much better, more spirited start here to the second set for UC San Diego.
And that set may be a little low for Schellinger. They're trying to run him fast to beat the block. It worked well in the first set, but low by maybe 3 to 6 inches.
Van Ooyen goes back set to Shosha. The block there from Sani and Selcho, and then Schellinger able to get it off the block and down on the Triton side of the net.
Yeah, Smith Van Ooyen there did a nice job bringing the set up just a little bit to give Schellinger a little more room to hit at. And Schellinger then hitting against Lures, right? 6'2" versus 6'5" grad, familiar with each other. So an interesting combo.
Already 6 kills for Schellinger. Soa will set Schellinger, and off the block, lands out of bounds. And Schellinger with back-to-back to tie this set at 3. Of course, Schellinger, an Illinois native from Bloomingdale, was the Illinois Player of the Year before he went and spent 4 years at UC San Diego. But that serve is wide, and the Tritons back in front.
Yeah, missed that sideline there by just a couple inches, but no argument on the Loyola side. Coach Davis looked, hey, should we challenge? Everyone said no, and away we go.
Lures, so transfer from Lincoln Memorial University out of Lebanon, Ohio. And down the line, Shosha with his 8th kill. He's 8 for 11 now with still no errors.
Yeah, Smith Van Ooyen and Shosha have very good timing on that D ball, with Shosha landing halfway up to the net, almost like he's running it in the front row.
And now Schellinger serving. Serve receives Sani. Chandler. And that lands in. And Luke Chandler has now tied for the team high with 4 kills.
Yeah, Chandler doing a nice job hitting front row and back row. Again, in these rotations, he's front row. Important for UC San Diego to have a little bit of that extra height up in the front row for blocking.
Led the way last night in the comeback win over Lewis with 17 kills at .375. Fabakovic to high tip over the block. Sprawling was Lures. And then I think he landed all the way on the other side on that slide, or he slid to the other side of the net there. And that'll be 5-5 now.
I think Sani a little bit frustrated that nobody else on the UC San Diego side went for that ball. So from the middle back, had to hustle it up and had too much momentum. Wasn't able to stop before crossing the center line.
Chandler blocked by Fabakovic, and Klein for Loyola's 4th block point of the night, and they retake the lead at 6-5.
And that's 2 big points in a row for Loyola. UC San Diego needs to calm down a little bit and see what they can do to side this ball out.
Lures sets Chandler, and they go right back there, and he tools it off the block.
That's an important one there. UC San Diego needs to build a bit of positive momentum. They were getting a little bit frustrated and stuck in that rotation. So see if they can build on that nice tool and continue to capitalize.
Well, already much closer here in the second set. First set saw no ties and no lead changes. Already had a couple of lead changes and 5 ties. In set 2, Selcho with the service error. That's 5 now for the Tritons. Loyola has 8 service errors, and each team only has 1 ace.
Yeah, I'd say both teams going for hard, aggressive serves. That, though, is a float serve. You'd expect that one to go over. Really what you're wanting to do is see if you can get it to go over and long and make the other team have to guess. If you're going to miss, miss long.
Van Ooyen, the serve, played by Prevendikov, and then big swing by Sani. Loyola able to get it back over, and then Aiden Klein off an overpass from the Tritons, and it's 8-6.
Nice job on Loyola's side there. Sawa just getting the body in front of this ball and up. Brad Bell able to turn it around, or Klein keep it up, and Loyola ultimately able to earn the point on the overpass.
And now Van Ooyen will serve for the Ramblers. UC San Diego calling out for the floater, and Van Ooyen floated it into the net.
Yeah, frustrated with himself there. Either the toss was a little bit low or maybe a miscontact, but hit middle of the net, right? Not even up at that top tape. You're really aiming for over the tape.
Lou Chandler has got 5 kills on the night with the serve. Fabakovic tipped off the block, popped in the air by Cook, and that'll be a point Loyola's. Provednikov with the attack error.
Yeah, UC San Diego looking around at it, catch high hands. No one seemed to say yes. Loyola felt like it was just out, so point to Loyola.
No challenges yet so far in this match. You start with 3. If you're successful, you keep the challenge. Overpass off Fabakovic's serve. Van Ooyen feeds Klein. He up by Boyle. Fended that one off. Chandler from the back right. Soa over to Shosha. Hit high in the air by Lures. Sani comes up to set it for Provednikov, who has his 5th kill.
That was a nice job on UC San Diego side. Started off a little bit scrambly early in the rally, and then were able to set it down, keep their pass high enough to bring in that second setter, right? When Lures takes the first contact, somebody else has to step in and set the ball in front of the 10-foot line. And Sani did that really nicely in that rotation.
Provednikov, 5 kills. Does have 3 errors, hitting 167. Now serves. Soa sprawls to return it over. Lures setting it for Garrison. And tied up again, now at 9.
Yeah, you see San Diego stringing a few points together. Again, we'll see if they can continue. Maybe 1 or 2 more points here, 2 points in the next one, building that momentum. Conversely, can Loyola close that down?
Loyola still for the night at 76% on their side out percentage. UC San Diego has climbed, though, close to 65%. Schellinger with his 8th kill. Tied for the match high with his teammate Shosha.
He did a nice job there finding the gap between the right side blocker and the middle blocker, so he had a large seam across the court he was able to aim at.
Aiden Klein serving. 6'9" junior from Evanston Township, just up the road. Oh, somehow getting it over against that block was Lures, and then Lures and Garrison block it, but out of bounds. And UC San Diego is going to challenge that there was a Loyola net violation.
I think the setter on UC San Diego said when they went to scoop the ball out of the net, Schillinger maybe caught the bottom of the net with his platform. Worth a challenge, tight match, also breaks up momentum, and we'll see what the reffing team's able to come back with.
So 11-9 will be the score for now, pending the challenge.
So did he clip the net right there on that little bop? And again, it has to be indisputable in order to be able to return or to overturn it. So they need to see the hand hit the net.
The net seemed to already be.
Yeah, I think the ball hit the net, so it was moving. So maybe they thought Schillinger hit it, but I don't see his hand that close to the bottom tape.
Like
I think it might be the ball.
Bell and Garrison almost look like they knock knees there at the net. I'm not sure if one of their thighs maybe caught. Well, probably not. That angle makes it look like their thighs could touch the net, but I doubt that's possible from now looking out on the court here. But
Ooh, another angle, great.
The net's moving because the ball went off the net.
It. I don't see the hand.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything there.
No, and Schillinger originally waggled his finger like, no, I didn't, but. Yeah, but the reffing crew taking their time reviewing it typically means that it's not clear, right? And so we'll see what they're able to come back with in terms of, is there enough evidence that he did contact the net to overturn the call? And the answer is no.
Stands, yeah. 11-9, the score remains. So UC San Diego will have 2 challenges left. Loyola still has all 3 of theirs.
but a long challenge, so good to take a look at it. They weren't able to see it right away, and then we'll see if Aiden Klein's able to put his serve in after that long break.
He's not able to. So 11-10.
Yeah, and almost like a coach's point. Obviously, you want the challenge to go your way because they hit the net, and you get that point back. But ultimately, you get the point anyways because it results in that service error. Good strategy.
Garrison the serve. Schellinger kicked almost into a basketball hoop that's up overhead. That would have been cool.
Loyola doing a nice job, though, setting that fast tempo to the outside with Schellinger and not allowing UC San Diego's block to close fully. So we're seeing Schellinger just have a field day on the outside.
And that landed in. Curved down that sideline. And the ace for Shosha. His first today and his 10th this season. And timeout, UC San Diego. Loyola won the first set, 25-20. They're up here in the second set, 13-10. Teal Arena. Loyola won the first set, 25-20. Now on top, 13-10 in the second set. But UC San Diego has certainly played better here in set 2. But Loyola is starting to get a little distance right now.
Yeah, they've got a little bit of momentum. UC San Diego had a little bit a few points ago, so we'll see if they go back and forth or if Loyola pulls away.
Sani with the attack. Van Ooyen over to Schellinger. Triple block set up by the Tritons. Lures goes to Selcho. Point for UC San Diego.
And that's a nice run. We haven't seen UC San Diego set the quick back set, so the middle ran around right behind the setter. Something a little bit different to see. Threw off that Loyola block just a bit.
UC San Diego now 154 this set, 214 for the match. Loyola hitting 294 this frame, 444 overall. John Lures with the serve. Schellinger rises up and has his 11th kill. So Schellinger is already a couple of kills away from tying his Loyola career high.
And having only been in a handful of matches this season, has gelled very well with the Loyola group.
Oh, serve line violation there from Schellinger. A fault.
We don't see that often, but
Oh.
Coach Davis did talk to us about how he's working with having his athletes land further in the court so that they're leading themselves more with the toss. And sometimes you just go toe-to-toe with the end line when you're doing that.
Schellinger had 13 kills last night for his Loyola career high. And that'll be another UC San Diego point, this time off the block, and they're within one at 14-13. Timeout Loyola. So great answer from the Titans out of the timeout that they called, down 13-10 to tally 3 of the next 4 points and then force Shane Davis into this timeout. As you look at the statistics for the full match here, 426 for the Ramblers, 214 those hitting percentages. A lot of service errors for Loyola at 11. Probably, again, you see higher numbers in that category in the men's game, but 11 might be a little too much right now at this stage.
Yeah, potentially. They're definitely serving hard, though. So on UC San Diego side, we see less serving errors, but they're also not serving quite as hard. Actually, that last point that they won was a very aggressive serve from Sani, and we see it not be an ace or a service error, but generate the point due to a bad pass on the Loyola side. So that you're toggling the line between aggressive serve and aggressive serve in the court.
If you're wondering, Josh Schellinger had a 22-kill match last year for UC San Diego in a 5-setter that they won against UC Santa Barbara. That's his overall career high. And again, he's at 11 already today and 2 shy of his Loyola career high. Sebastiano Sani, the national champion at Long Beach State last year, played in 23 matches, hit .380 and 1.5 kills per set. Played some time in the NCAA tournament as Loyola gets the point out of their timeout, 15-13. And here comes Lucas Anderson.
And that was a much better pass on the Loyola side. We've talked kind of throughout the match about the importance of first contact. Sawa did a great job getting that ball to the setter's head and allowing Smith Van Ooyen to run a complete offense.
Anderson the serve. Boyle passes it to Lures. It goes back row, and the kill for Sani. His fourth. Nicely done off a good Lucas Anderson serve.
Well done so far. He's been a little bit quiet tonight, given 14 kills yesterday with Lewis in that match. This only brings to 4 kills in this particular match. So again, we'll see if they find Sani a little bit more in the back row or if they continue to try to spread it out.
Selcho with the serve. Schellinger on the serve receive. Here's Shosha, and he's blocked by Garrison and Chandler. And that's Shosha's second error on the attack. They've both come here in the second set.
Yeah, I think in that one, again, the pass a little bit off the net. They knew, UC San Diego knew where that set was likely going, and so they were able to fully form that solid block.
7th tie of this second set, 15-15. Van Ooyen to Fabakovic, couldn't. He tried to cut it inside that block, and he didn't get it over. And UC San Diego retakes the lead for the first time since they led 5-4.
Yeah, nice tempo on that set, but either a little too far or maybe Fabakovic overran it just a little bit. That could look very different if it was a 3-inch difference on that location.
Van Ooyen, middle, it's Klein.
We'll credit that right back to the pass as well, because you've got a pass perfect to run the middle. Klein is hitting absolutely fantastic today. 4 kills, 5 attempts, or 5 kills on 6 attempts. Well above 700 for the hits.
Yeah, 5 for 6, 833. Came in hitting 439 on the year. Tied at 16. Boyle again on the serve receive. As Stephanie talked about the 2 libero system for the Tritons. And you got Boyle in there for the serve receive and does his job, and now he'll check out. And number 17, Keegan Cook, back on the floor.
Yeah, all 3 liberos across both teams here doing a fantastic job with that ball control.
Diving Fabakovic to get it to Klein. Goes over off the libero Cook. And then Shosha has his 9th kill. And tied again.
Coach may be questioning whether that was a double contact on the set. You know, when the ball comes over on the second out, it has to be clean since the double rules have changed a little bit, but the ref just said, nope.
Fabakovic, service error. 18-17.
He has a few missed serves tonight, and it's hard sometimes you get in your own head after you miss 1 or 2. You're like, I have to make this one. So we'll see if he can settle it down on that service line. Serve receiving very well, though, is Fabakovic. So still contributing greatly in the back row.
Provednikov on the serve for the Tritons, and that goes long, and J.J. Soa diving out of the way.
Yeah, chuckled a little bit at himself there as he was playing dodgeball, getting out of the way, but no contact. Point Loyola, 18-18. That's important.
That's 4 straight ties now, 15-18. And Aiden Delorier saw him for a couple of serves in the first set. We'll rip it with confidence right here again. But it's a 13th service error for the Ramblers. And now UC San Diego will have first crack at getting to that 20-point mark.
And again, a better miss in that it went over the net and out, but it was out by 5-6 feet there. So not a hard call on the UC San Diego side to say whether that was in or out.
Josh Eward comes in, a 6'4" junior from Moraga, California. He's had 15 aces on the season. Had 3 last night against Lewis. Fabakovic with a great job on the serve receive, but the triple block for the Tritons earns them the point, and a 20-18 advantage. Timeout Loyola, and the Tritons feeling good about evening this up at 1 set apiece with a 20-18 advantage.
And Fabakovic did a good job getting that ball up, but pulled the setter off the net. So in order for them to get the ball to the outside, UC San Diego knew where it was going and had a triple block over there.
Some looks at what the Tritons have done offensively. Leo Provednikov with 5 kills, tied for the team high with Luke Chandler. Titans just got a block point, Tritons, excuse me, the Tritons, they just got a block point for their 3rd of the day. Loyola has 4 block points. And the side out percentages are coming together now. Loyola at 72.5%. UC San Diego at 67.4%. See the hitting percentages overall so far in this one. And so now UC San Diego, this is important for them. They got to close this set down, or it could turn, you know, and then obviously 1-1's a lot different than being down 0-2 in this match here.
Yeah, it gives you a lot less wiggle room in terms of what you're able to do the rest of the match. Obviously, we saw them go down 0-2 yesterday to Lewis and come back with that 3-2 reverse sweep, but it still gives your competition way too many chances to take the match.
Ewert mentioned he's got a team-high 15 aces. He's had 5 matches this year with multiple aces. And again, 3 last night. He also had 10 kills last night. Haven't seen him out there in that role so far today. Shosha. Ewert with the play up to Lures. Now Lures setting it for Sani. Out of bounds, 21-18.
You can feel the energy and the momentum on UC San Diego side as long as they're able to keep it. We've seen them have momentum, give it up, get it back. So if they can hold it here, again, they're in the red zone now, over 20 points. For them, it's just a game to 4.
A third serve for Ewert. Shosha blocked, and that's point UC San Diego with Sani and Selcho on the block. I think our up official is maybe just sort of saying to the celebration there, just ease it up a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, you can celebrate, but you're not allowed to yell at your competition. So when Selcho came down there, he yelled back at Shosha, which is not allowed. So they are toying with the yellow card on that side.
Ewert's serve there just registered 71 on the radar gun. And now it's 23-18 UC San Diego. They were a little bit extra mustard on that one. And I suppose he might try even more here now, because this is going to be a 5th serve for Josh Ewert. Oh, take something off. Schellinger, cross court, 23-19, his 12th kill.
And the energy and the talking back on the UC San Diego side actually reminds me, if you watch them play BYU both times, this was the exact level of, I'm going to say friendly competition, but maybe it gets a little unfriendly at times, right? The refs had to step in and say a few words to them at that point, too. You're allowed to cheer on your own side. You cannot scream at your competitors.
Yeah, they want you to turn, face your teammates, and then maybe do the primal scream. Oh, that hit the antenna. Point Loyola, 23-20. UC San Diego still has a timeout left here in the set. Loyola does it. Loyola has not used one of its 3 challenges. UC San Diego has lost a challenge and has 2 remaining. Shosha the serve. Aiden Powell checked in a moment ago on that serve receive. And the termination by Sani, his 6th. And UC San Diego has set point. Yeah, this is obviously you want to win these non-conference matches, but so many coaches talk about how these big-time non-conference games are to get ready for your conference season. And Loyola starts their conference here this coming Wednesday and Friday. Will be at Lindenwood and at McKendree. Lindenwood number 18 in the country, and McKendree's tied for number 11 with UC San Diego. Shosha. And again, I don't know how accurate the radar gun is from the distance there, but I just saw 62 come up there on that Shosha swing.
Feels like it could be pretty accurate. That one off the platform and probably 7 rows up in the stands there. That ball was hit hard by Shosha.
24-21, Schellinger the serve. Lures, back set. Sani wins it for the Tritons, 25-21. So a big answer from UC San Diego. This match will go at least 4 between the number 11 team, UC San Diego, and the number 7 team of the country, Loyola Chicago. 1-1 after 2 sets at Gentile Arena. Set. The cliche is this is a big one.
This one's important.
The team that wins this one will have the advantage. And the first point of this set will go to UC San Diego.
Yeah, Lures just able to push the ball past the block there, grab fingers before it flew out of bounds. And I think on both sides, they'll be looking for a certain level of consistency with energy. So maybe not so high and so low, but kind of having that consistent play throughout.
Back row attack, Fabakovic. Gonna ask you now, with Loyola coming off the loss in set 2, what type of adjustments could see from them?
I mean, Loyola played pretty well overall. There were a few plays and rotations where ball control was a little bit harder, which then allowed the UC San Diego block to form in full. So we'll look at if Loyola is able to keep splitting the block up on the UC San Diego side.
And that's an ace, the second today for Aiden Klein. He has 2 of Loyola's 3 aces today. And now he's up to 8 on the season. And it's long, so it'll be tied at 2. UC San Diego is not connected on an ace so far today. They have 6 service errors, while Loyola the 3 aces, and now 14 service errors. John Lewers will serve. He has 18 assists, 4 digs, and a block today. Fabakovic again from the back row. Same spot on the other side. It's Provednikov with the UC San Diego point.
And maybe a bit of miscommunication on the Loyola defense there, with Schmidt Van Ooyen thinking Fabakovic was going, Fabakovic thinking the setter. If you can, you want your setter to not take that ball, so Fabakovic should be diving into that seam so Schmidt Van Ooyen can go run the offense.
Provednikov with his 6th kill. Shosha with his 11th. Shosha and Schellinger have combined for 23 kills. Shosha had no errors in the first set, but 4 in the second.
I do think UC San Diego did a better job blocking him in the second. That's some of those hitting errors that we see on Shosha's stat line. There was solid blocks on the UC San Diego side.
Saw Boyle again on the serve receive. Back right, Shosha, and that'll reach the stands. So Shosha now ties Schellinger for the team high with 12 kills.
And if you toss in, if Loyola gets Fabakovic going, that's a lot of kills coming off the Loyola side there.
Shosha had 13 last night against Manhattan. He had 14 against Pepperdine. Some big numbers for him here at home. Free ball coming for the Tritons. And off of the block, the point for Peter Selcho.
And UC San Diego has been pretty effective when they're able to run their middle. So if they can get that pass up and have the middle in on the quick, they have a pretty high hitting efficiency from their middle hitters right now.
Selcho's 3 of 4. Garrison's 2 of 5. Neither of those middles have an error. Schellinger, cross court. The up by Sani. Tight to the net. Pushed over by Provednikov. Fabakovic comes flying in. And the block that lands inbounds there at the middle of the net from Selcho.
They did a nice job there tracking that Loyola's used that the back row quick a few times and stuck with Fabakovic to earn that point.
And we've already had 4 lead changes in this 3rd set. And now our 4th tie, our 5th tie.
And I think the thing I'm looking for this one here for UC San Diego is that when things aren't going their way, that they don't get down on themselves. We've seen them, again, kind of go high and low in terms of that emotional that they're playing with. And they want to stay in the medium-high range.
Schellinger the serve. Selcho with a dominant finish. And right to your point here with the middles and how efficient they have been for the Tritons.
Yeah, but it all hinges on that first contact, the ball control. So UC San Diego, perfect pass there, allows Selcho to hit 10-foot line. They need to keep that first contact in control.
First set of this match saw no ties, no lead changes. Loyola led the entire way en route to a 25-20 first set win. The second set saw 10 ties, 3 lead changes. UC San Diego winning at 25-21. Already here in the 3rd, we've been tied every number, 6 ties with 4 lead changes already. Chandler. Van Ooyen goes to Fabakovic. And the block by Garrison and Chandler. And UC San Diego maintains the slim advantage.
That one's the second time or third time that we've seen Fabakovic kind of fall backwards when he's hitting. I can't tell if Fabakovic needs to complete his transition and get off the court, or if the set's a little bit far for him. Just a little bit of a disconnect there.
Chandler's serve gets a piece of the net. Klein, and not able to dig it was Keegan Cook. And let's see how far we can go through this set with being tied at every number. 7 for 7 so far.
And a smart set choice there by Smit Van Ooyen, recognizing that Fabakovic off just a little. The timing there, chooses middle hitter Aiden Klein, who's hitting fantastic. They are connecting well tonight and able to find him for the kill.
Side out percentages are just about even now for the match. And Van Ooyen couldn't get that one cleanly. 8-7. UC San Diego. Loyola's side out percentage is at 69.2%. So if you're going to round down there, 69%. And for UC San Diego, they're at 68.5%. And I was taught that's when you round up to 69%. So both teams hitting at the same side out percentage. That number's going to change as Fabakovic gets the kill. And we are 8 for 8 now on ties.
And that was a nice connection there. Fabakovic had to handle the pass and then complete a transition and attack, and able to clip the libero down the line on the UC San Diego side.
Fabakovic the serve. Doyle down. Flying in, Chandler off of Soa the dig. Here's Schellinger cross court. Doyle again. Back row, off the block, out of bounds. Leo Prevennik with the termination, his 7th.
That's a fun rally both sides. 2 giant digs from both liberos to keep those rallies going. Chasing the ball down, nice cross-court hitting, and ultimately UC San Diego able to tool the block.
This is some good volleyball, Stephanie.
This is very good volleyball, Scott.
Garrison, another tie, 9-9.
You know, set 1, a little bit more Loyola. Set 2 towards the end, a little more UC San Diego. Set 3, the important one, like you said, back forth, back forth.
This is just like they say in a 5-game playoff series. That's exactly what, volleyball is. Best 3 out of 5. That you're tied 1-1. Game 3 is always so important. And now UC San Diego just continues to keep this 1-point lead, basically, just back and forth. Tie, 1-point lead, tie,
Loyola's
1-point lead.
right there with the block also.
Yeah.
They just need to turn their hands into the middle of the court. The block is there and formed, but their hands are pointing off the court, which is allowing UC San Diego to tool them.
Fabakovic the serve receive. Van Ooyen in the back set to Shosha. And that was I think a net violation. Would have been a point anyways for the Ramblers, and it's tied at 10. Oh, we're 10 for 10 now. Can't get much closer than this. In fact, you literally can't get closer than this. Middle. And Soa and Shosha getting touches. Who had that swing here? Well, no surprise. Peter Selcho. He's been big here in this 3rd set.
And that time they sent him on a 31, so off the setter, which was a good call because the pass was off the net. They were still able to run the middle, though. So I like that offensive change for UC San Diego to keep the middle involved when the pass isn't great. Hey, we're tied again.
Yeah.
Do we win a hamburger or something if we tie
it ties all the
X
way
number
through?
of times?
I don't know. Back row. Oh, boy. Sebastiano Sani with his 9th kill.
That was a nice play by UC San Diego. The middle came in the front row for a quick, took the Loyola block, and then the back row player hit right behind him. So that nice stack threw Loyola off a bit.
Now Selcho serving. Fabakovic got it back. Reaching it, Sani. Free ball for Loyola. Soa, Van Ooyen, Shosha, out of bounds. And we're finally not tied. 13-11.
A nice play, nice run there, just out down the sideline a little bit wide for Shosha.
And Shane Davis feeling the same thing, hitting 200. And UC San Diego a 13-11 advantage here in the 3rd after winning the 2nd set 25-21 in a match that's tied 1-1. Selcho serving. Lures over to Provednikov. Long pass to Fabakovic over the triple block. And the Tritons now with 3-point advantage.
A little scrambling now on the Loyola side. We saw that on the UC San Diego side to start, but they're right there. That's the matter of a 1-inch difference in your hit, whether you clip fingers or not. So a well handled off of not the best first contact.
Saw Fabakovic struggle with the block that Pepperdine had last week, albeit that's a bigger block than UC San Diego's putting up. But 4 kills and 5 errors today for Fabakovic. Schellinger, though, his 13th kill against his former team. And it's 14-12.
And Selcho had a few words back for him there as he hit the ball right at him and couldn't dig it up. I think in good jest, the ref was laughing just a little bit.
I think like, hey, I thought we were friends. Not anymore. Anderson to serve. Provednikov. Schellinger pushes it to Van Ooyen. Over to Fabakovic. And that's a body dig by Doyle. Or by Boyle, excuse me. And then Aiden Klein, though, with determination.
You can use any part of your body, thigh, foot, head, as long as it's a clean contact and you don't have a prolonged contact with the ball. That lift call, you can dig right off your shoulder, kept it in play.
Yeah, Boyle done that with his pectoralis major, I think. His chest. Provednikov. It was a triple block initially, and then Fabakovic left to move over towards the middle of the net, and that maybe opened it up.
Yeah, and if you're not going to block, you need to back up and play your defense, and I think kind of got caught right in the middle, turned to his team, said, my bad, but yes, did leave that left front open for a little fist down into. Just bop the ball into the space.
8th kill now for Provednikov, 15-13 Tritons here in the third. Loyola playing its 6th match against a team ranked inside the top 20 this year.
So in that particular rotation, UC San Diego took their setter off the court and did not have a setter to handle the second ball, and I don't think had identified who that would be if number 9, Wiemelt, took the first contact. So he backed up and took the free ball, and then they didn't have somebody prepared to set. That's kind of a momentum killer.
Lures now will set it back. Chandler off the block and down on the Loyola side for the Triton points.
And that one's unfortunate because Fabakovic and Klein were there. They had their hands up, but they just weren't pressed over the net to push the ball back on UC San Diego side. So a nice job by UC San Diego sneaking the ball through.
Provednikov the serve. Fabakovic to Van Ooyen, back to Fabakovic. One-on-one with Sani. And point UC San Diego, and Shane Davis will use his second timeout of the third set as the Tritons have a 17-14 advantage here in set 3, as that was Fabakovic's 6th error today with 4 kills.
And that's one of those that's tough because, yes, they're hitting errors, but it looks to me just like the timing is off between setter and hitter. So is it a matter of, like, that set was a little bit tight. Fabakovic was a little close to the net when he hit. You know, fixing a little bit of both of those things, I think, would clean that up.
And you do wonder, obviously, Daniel Fabakovic, to start the season and last year used to being set by Ryan McElligott, who has been out now for 6 consecutive matches. And Van Ooyen taking over the starter's role. And Van Ooyen seems to have a good partnership with Alexander Shosha so far. Maybe just not, just not finding it as much with Fabakovic, which certainly you played the setter position, so you might understand that.
Yeah, and then sometimes you get in your own head. You're like, oh, I really want to get this person a good set. And sometimes you end up with a little extra pressure on yourself just from you. But to your point, really good timing with Shosha, with Schellinger. On the other side, we're seeing good timing with Chandler, but not as good of timing as I would have expected with Sani, right? We've seen him be a little bit quieter tonight. And again, we've seen setting changes on the UC San Diego side throughout their first few matches as well. So, and we're talking a matter of 1 or 2 inches can throw off what you're looking for as a hitter.
Leo Provednik the serve. Van Ooyen goes middle to Klein. That connection has certainly worked. Klein is 8 for 10 with no errors in today's match. So hitting .800 today, .439 for the season, the junior middle.
I think if I were Loyola's coaches, anytime the pass was perfect, I would say find Klein. If Klein's in and the pass is in front of the 10-foot line, that's who I'd be getting the ball to.
Boyle on the serve receive from Fabakovic. Soa the dig. Schellinger down the line. There's Chandler. Boyle setting it for Sani. Shosha. One of our longest rallies in a while here. Aiden Klein ends it though.
And that's one of those where Shosha doesn't get the kill, but his hard hit generates an overpass. Klein gets the kill, but a very nice job on Loyola's side, Shosha and Klein, to put the ball down in open space.
Klein now is 1 kill away from joining both Shosha and Schellinger in double figures in this match, as they both have 13. Sani leading the Tritons with 9, Provednikov with 8, Chandler with 7. Fabakovic the serve. Lures over to Sani. Soa able to get it to his setter, Van Ooyen, who then finds Shosha.
Well done on Loyola's side. That play happened fast. Smith Van Ooyen did a really good job putting a nice, high hittable ball in. And credit to Shosha for cutting that in front of the 10-foot line from off the net. That's just a nice dropping your wrist down, thumb up, roll shot across the court with speed, though.
See the value of J.J. Soa as well, able to make a good enough pass to keep his team in system there, to get it to Van Ooyen. And now the block of Klein and Shosha, and all of a sudden, Loyola with 4 straight points, and they've retaken the lead for the first time in this set since they led 4-3. A timeout called by UC San Diego. That's 4 in a row out of the Shane Davis timeout when it was 17-14. UC San Diego.
Right before this, we were tied again. So it just keeps
17.
happening.
And we hadn't been tied since it was 11-11, though. So that's the 12th tie. It was the 12th tie. And now the fifth lead change of this set, as Shane Davis in his second stint in a 14th season overall as the Loyola head coach brought the program right back to the NCAA tournament in his first year last year, and certainly has a team that is NCAA tournament caliber. We know that for sure, but it's all kind of a numbers game, and you really got to make sure you load up in the non-conference schedule, get some good results there, and then to leave no doubt, just win your league is what they'll hope to do later on in April.
Yeah, but playing these teams where the rankings are close, 7-11, 7-8, you really want to come out with that W in that case so that you can keep your rank and or maybe edge up just a little bit as you go. So this match, again, very important for both programs in terms of the outcome of this match. It won't hurt a ton if you lose it, but it will help you if you win it.
Loyola with a loss to number 1 UCLA this year. They have a win and a loss against number 3 Hawaii, a loss against number 6 Pepperdine, and a win against number 16 Stanford. And of course taking on number 11 UC San Diego right now. Chandler, cross court, Van Ooyen the dig, comes up and down cleanly. Shosha off the Soa set. And big finish by Sebastiano Sani. He becomes the first Triton in double figures with 10 kills.
A nice job identifying. There was one big block on the right side there, Shosha, in a hole, so able to go hard cross court there into that space.
Sani's got to be a great addition to this team. Obviously, statistics tell you that, but just being a part of a national championship winning team a year ago at Long Beach State. And that'll be somehow returned off the serve. I got screened out. I couldn't see all of what happened there. But in the end, UC San Diego gets the point, 19-18.
Yeah, that's one of those funky plays. You're not 100% sure where all the contacts were. Loyola needs to settle it back down then. We're going to check the floor here since Smith Van Ooyen slid right into where the outside hitter jumps on UC San Diego. But both teams, very excited, need to settle down just a little bit and play that consistent, controlled volleyball that they can.
Josh Ewert back in to serve. He had a nice run in the second set. Aiden Klein, sky high to go up and finish it. Aiden Klein was someone who last year was touching 11-8, and now has improved that up to 12 feet 1 inch. And it's also added 15 pounds of muscle over the last couple of years, and using it there, tied at 19.
It certainly gives you an advantage if you can jump 1 inch above someone or 6 inches above someone to make that contact. And you see that playing out on the court every time he hits those quick middles.
And Delorier into serve. Great reflexes to get to that by Lures. Schellinger against a triple block has the kill. And now he has a new Loyola career high with 14 kills.
A nice job wiggling it through to the point where if you can get it around the block, sometimes you can just find court space.
Second serve now for Delorier. 375 for Schellinger today. Tied at 20.
But did his job, made his first serve, earned a point for the team in that particular rotation, and then subs out. So as a serving specialist, that's what you're asked to do.
John Lures, who has 28 assists, 4 digs and a block, will serve for the Tritons. Babakovic cuts in front of Soa. Brad Bell has it blocked by Selcho. Bell tries again, and this time off of Selcho and down.
And I like that play by Smith Van Ooyen to go back to Brad Bell. The pass was there. He's going to use the middle. And actually then we see him sub out. So Loyola will not have a true setter on the court in this particular rotation as Robbins subs it for him, a blocking specialist, to see if they can shut down UC San Diego on the outside.
Shosha the serve. Selcho blocked back by Robbins. Go outside now. Sano down the line. No touch is the ruling. UC San Diego on the floor saying they want to challenge. And they will challenge, it appears. Not official yet. As Ross Stratter is talking it over, and there will be a challenge from UC San Diego that there was a touch by the Loyola block.
And there you saw some friendly / competitive banter back and forth as Schellinger said to his prior teammates, no. So we'll see where this comes out as, right? Did he touch it on the way out? Did he not? UC San Diego, very convinced, yes, there was a touch on Schellinger. Schellinger said no, kind of laughing as the challenge card came out.
Yeah, immediately Schellinger saying, nope, I didn't get it. And the review is very quick.
They say you did in fact touch it. And some of that's some acting, right? We're trying to say, no, it wasn't me, so don't challenge it. Don't challenge it, it's ours. On Schillinger's side, on UC San Diego, you want to be correct if you're telling your coach to challenge.
So now the Tritons are left with 1 challenge. Unless we go to a 5th set, then you do get 1 back. 22-20 Loyola. Shosha, another serve. And now 22-21. Sebastiano Sani will serve. 10 kills, hitting .286. A couple of blocks as well today. Tritons don't have an ace today. They do average almost 1.5 per set on the year. In fact, the exact same number as the Ramblers this year, but now it's 23-21. We know Schellinger would like to finish it off over these next 2.
Schellinger back to the line, who's been a good server for Loyola as long as the announcers don't jinx him.
Yeah. We do our best. That goes off the scoreboard ring, down quickly. UC San Diego ready for it. Free ball for the Ramblers. Van Ooyen. Bell blocked. Schellinger there on the cover. Shosha, the block didn't get there in time. They still did a pretty good job returning it. Now back row attack, pancake maybe, Van Ooyen, doesn't matter, hits the floor, point, Tritons. Whew.
You need a breath there?
A little bit.
Yeah, back and forth, quick. Good reactions by both teams there to pull the ball out of the net, get blocked, pull it back up. A little bit of ping pong, and then the net actually ends up being the thing that wins the point for UC San Diego.
23-22 Loyola here in the 3rd. The serve was by Selcho. Shosha. He picks up his 15th kill, and it's set point Loyola here in the third.
And that was a nice set by Smits Van Ooyen. The one before that, he really led Shosha almost a little bit too far. That time he gave him room to jump behind the line and take a good full swing.
And timeout called by UC San Diego after Shosha's 15th kill. Shosha now, it's the third time this season he's had 15 or more kills. He had 19 in the 4-set win at Hawaii, and he had 26 in the 5-set win the Ramblers had against Stanford. 15 here today, hitting .345.
He's been such a key contributor to Loyola since stepping into this program, so it's fun to see, again, those quick connections as people change. You pick up a few people from the transfer portal. Even with a setting change happening mid-season right now, still connecting well. He's just incredibly versatile in terms of what he can hit.
Yeah, Shane Davis talking about Shosha, how great of a learner he's been since joining the program, been a sponge, picking up everything, and sort of has that silent assassin look to him. He shows a little emotion, but not a ton.
I've seen more as he settles into the program. You can see a little more of that personality coming out. But definitely a little bit, you've got your energetic ones and your quieter ones.
Set point here for the Ramblers. And it's a win off the block. Fabakovic and Klein. And Loyola, after being down for the majority of this third set, they come back and win it. A set that saw 15 ties and 7 lead changes. Loyola now leads 2-1 here in Rogers Park. In the state of Illinois against a top 10 team, force a 5th set. Now, of course, yesterday they were down 0-2 before winning 3 in a row. Now they just have to win 2 in a row down here 2-1.
Yeah, no big deal. It's not like you're playing a top 10 team right now that you just have to go back and forth with. But really, we've seen, again, either team could win any of these sets out on the court right now. So really fun volleyball.
John Lewis will begin with the serve. 28 assists, 4 digs and a block today. Senior. Transferred into UC San Diego from Lincoln Memorial University. Van Ooyen goes right to Klein. What did you say? You get a perfect pass off the serve receive from Soa to Van Ooyen, and you got to feed Klein.
Yep, and unfortunate he goes to the back row right away, although he's great at the service line. But we'll see if Loyola is able to also activate Brad Bell in the same way. But Aiden Klein playing fantastic tonight.
He has 8 aces on the year. How about 9 in the 8th match of the season today? And he's got 3 total in today's matchup. Of course, he had 4 last night, so he has 7 of his 9 aces in the last 24 hours. I don't think I have to say it again, but now he ties the season high and has 8 of his 10 aces in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, but what I like there is he aced one all the way to the far side of the court, zone 5, and the other came all the way to zone 1 in the corner.
Boyle able to play that one. Sani tips it over. Here's Shosha. And Boyle dove after it, but it's a 4-0 start to the 4th set for Loyola.
And this is where we need to see if UC San Diego is able to stay calm. Sometimes they get down on themselves in these situations. I think a smart timeout here.
Yeah, early timeout from UC San Diego. We'll step aside. 4-0 Loyola to begin this coming, well, next weekend. See some softball players in the house. They'll head somewhere warm over the weekend to begin their season as Josh Schellinger, his 15th kill off an overpass.
And a great serve again by Aiden Klein. Not an ace statistically, but you earn the overpass at an immediate point, allowing Schillinger to terminate on the overpass. So, like an assist almost to Klein.
Lures, long pass across to Chandler, had it blocked by Bell and Shosha. Try it again, and it is now 6-0 Loyola to begin the 4th set.
A little bit of a mistiming disconnect on the UC San Diego side on the outside there. They need to be able to get the ball back over out of serve receive so they can let their pin hitters return to their correct spots on the court. Right now, the right side's on the outside's on the right. You don't want to get stuck there.
Selcho, Bell was there. Shosha, and it's 7-0. And you do wonder now at this point of this match, UC San Diego with their legs. Again, they're on the road from San Diego to Illinois, of course, and they played a 5-setter last night against number 9 Lewis. They battle all the way back. They win that, obviously, an emotional win, a lot of energy used, and they come back 24 hours later to take on another top 10 team in Loyola. You're here in the 4th set, and the Ramblers dominating to begin the 4th.
Yeah, and Brett Bell there did a nice job getting a soft touch on the block, so went up in the middle, didn't block it fully back over, but got hands on it and allowed Loyola to continue that rally going. So we're seeing good contribution from all of the Loyola players as they spin around the court. UC San Diego stuck in this particular serve-receive rotation is going to see if in this second timeout that they've taken, they can figure out the key to crack this Loyola lineup.
Saw Loyola hitting .351 for the match. They're a perfect 4 for 4 here in the 4th, while UC San Diego, no kills on 4 attacks with 1 error. Shosha, 17 kills now tonight, hitting .387. Also has 5 digs and 3 blocks. Josh Schellinger, 15 kills, hitting .400. UC San Diego being led by Sebastiano Sani with 11 kills. He's hitting .304. And then Leo Provednikov has 8 terminations, hitting .238. JJ Soa today has 12 digs for the Ramblers. He came in 18th in the nation in digs per set. He had 10 digs last night. Klein serves again. That's 7 serves. And he's gonna get another one.
I've got to say, not only is it fantastic that Aiden Klein is serving as aggressive as he is, but it is pretty rare in men's volleyball you see a server serve more than 3 or 4 times. Right? It's, at some point, they bury it in the net, they hit it out. So to have 8 serves over in a row, fantastic.
Sani, the block, that lands in across the court, and everything is coming up Loyola right now, 9-0.
And we see sometimes when it goes wrong, it all goes wrong. So we see a libero exchange on UC San Diego, so 17 in. He's normally the defensive libero, but we'll see if anyone else pops in off the bench. Again, they're out of timeout, so how do you slow it down a little bit?
Oh, the 9th serve takes off.
He almost gets the softball team that we
into
looked
the
at.
3rd row, exactly where they were sitting. But Aiden Klein serves 9 times, and that was after he got the kill that got him back on the serve. 9-1 Loyola to begin the 4th set.
It's great discipline and aggressive serves.
Sani serving it for the Tritons. Shosha. Chandler lures. Sani. 2 in a row now for UC San Diego. Sani's 12th kill.
And if you're on UC San Diego side, you've got to be thinking, we need to earn 2 or 3 points every time someone goes back. When Loyola gets the ball, we need to side out right away. That's the only way you can dig yourself out of this hole. It is doable, but you've got to earn a few points with each server.
And got a couple back at a time. Schellinger, and not able to get it with Keegan Cook.
Yeah, and that set was very low for Schellinger. He does a nice job getting it up and over the net as best he can and ultimately rolls off the net for a kill.
Schellinger now with 17 terminations, tied for the team high with Shosha. Side out quickly here for UC San Diego on the service error. UC San Diego side out percentage that was nearing 70% in that 3rd set has now dropped down to 60% for the match, while Loyola is right at 70%. Peter Selcho the serve. It goes off the scoreboard ring. Van Ooyen able to recognize it, find it, but the block of Garrison and Chandler. And this is, again, the prescription right now for UC San Diego is get another one here. And then, sure, maybe side out Loyola, but start to chip away. They were down 9-0 to begin this set. Shosha. And there's a touch. 11-4 Loyola on Shosha's 18th kill.
But UC San Diego, good job earning 2 points to the 1. Again, the goal here for UC San Diego is to side out right away. Handle this ball in front of the 10-foot line. Side out.
Schellinger with the serve. Lures to Garrison and guides it over. 11-5.
And UC San Diego doing a nice job keeping their middles involved even when the pass is a bit off the net. They're running that like a quick with a push just to give them a little bit of space. And Garrison, a nice job there getting the ball into open court.
Chandler serves. Soa to Van Ooyen. Over to Fabakovic, touched by the block. Lures, back set to Chandler. And now UC San Diego has tallied 6 of the last 8 points after being down 9-0. Oh. So that went off the back of somebody's head there. And Laura Benton, who broadcasted last night's game with Peter Ferreri, last week I worked with her. It was her first ever men's, 4-time all-conference player in her day at Illinois State. Plenty of analyst work, had never broadcasted a men's volleyball game until last week, and she had made mention of, you don't see that at the women's game where they put their hands behind their head on serves. And you see that's why, because you might get hit in the back of the head by an errant serve a little more often. 12-7, now 13-7. The Ramblers with a 6-point advantage.
And I would say if you do get hit with a serve in women's, it's not coming quite as fast.
Yeah, maybe not at the 72 miles per hour that we've seen.
In the top spin versus, more of the float serve in the women's game. So, yeah, much difference in terms of the head protection.
Lures, back row attack by Provednikov. His 9th kill. All right, UC San Diego certainly not let Loyola run away and hide now after the 9-0 start. Gotta think if they get a couple more here, Shane Davis might want to cease the momentum with a timeout. Shosha, the block touch, good job. Nice job in the back as well by Provednikov. Then Chandler gets the attack. Soa passes to Fabakovic, out of bounds, no touch. 13-9, so from down 9 to within 4 for the Tritons.
Yeah, and a nice set of defense there on UC San Diego, picking up that deep off-the-hands tool, which would have been a kill if it wasn't saved in the middle back.
Garrison the serve. 14-9. Remember, again, the Tritons have used both of their timeouts already. They do have 1 challenge remaining. Loyola has all 3 of its challenges still to use. Provednikov on the serve receive. Sani had it blocked, as does Chandler for the point for Schellinger and Klein.
Yeah, those passes on the UC San Diego side brought the setter off the net a little bit. Maybe had that set off the net farther than was anticipating. But again, it's that first contact that's really making the difference in the rallies where we're seeing it look a little more chaotic versus controlled. 9th
block point for Loyola. Service error from Fabakovic, and it's 15-10. Loyola's led the entire way, of course, here in the 4th set. Got out to a 9-0 lead. They won the 1st and the 3rd set today, 25-20 and 25-22. UC San Diego taking that middle set, the 2nd, 25-21. And now a 6-point advantage again. And Aiden Klein, who had a 9-serve run to begin this set, is back there again.
And a strong front row for Loyola. They've got Shosha, Bell, and Schillinger all in the front row with Klein back at the service line.
12 kills today for Klein and the 4 aces. They only got the 1 serve this time around.
And that was an important side out for UC San Diego to get Klein off the line.
12 kills, by the way, for Klein is a career high. And the same with the 4 aces, tying the 4 he had last night. But UC San Diego continues to chip away. And now 16-12 after being down 9-0.
The ref having to remind the athletes again not to yell at one another, but coach here just said they're best friends.
Okay.
I don't think that excuses the yelling, but you know, it's interesting with all of the transfers and how things resettle, how many of them have played together both in their junior years, right, at the high school level, and then in college programs previously. So they're very familiar with each other.
Shosha the serve. Lures. Back row attack by Sani.
Yeah, Sani's really come alive in the last 2 sets or so from the UC San Diego side in terms of not just hitting and play, but also the communication between him and his teammates on the court as well.
Selcho has been very effective from the middle of the net. Serves. Shosha the tip. Selcho to the floor. The swing by Prevendnikov. Here's Shosha over the block, out of bounds. 3-point difference.
The whole team, though, turns to Coach Davis and says, challenge that. We think there was a touch.
And they will.
So we will see.
The first challenge of the day for Loyola, saying that there was a UC San Diego touch.
If it was, it's going to be just a small fingertip, but that's all you need to catch here. So we're looking for high hands off this block. Smart tip there, though. The libero's out, so he's tipping it a middle. And then this next one coming around. Is there a touch right here? Yeah, Garrison does look like he comes down looking like, I'm guilty.
Let's see, number 14. Oh, all right.
Well, that angle looked like there was no touch.
Maybe not so much there on that look. But certainly clear of 14. That angle is, of course, again, it can kind of play tricks on you.
And it could catch this finger right here.
I just don't know whose hand that is.
I think it's Garrison's left hand.
In that camera
and
view.
They do jump very high.
This view makes it seem like if it touched anybody, it's actually Prevendnikov.
Yeah, the right hand of.
But I don't know.
And the ball doesn't change spin, but they are taking some time to review it.
Maybe the left hand of Prevendnikov, now that we keep running it back, which then you kind of see it here on this view. And you need to be pretty indisputable to overturn.
Otherwise the call will stand. But a great use of a challenge since we've now had a 2-minute timeout.
In Loyola, if they lose it, they still have 2.
Yep.
And if this goes to a 5th, you get 1 added.
Yep. Yep. And you know what we say every time we sit here? You cannot take those challenges home with you.
No.
Gives you a chance to talk, chance to cool down the momentum on the UC San Diego side.
And they will still stick with the call on the floor. I think that seemed to be really the only way you could go there, that it just was too much. There was a little evidence, but certainly not a preponderance of evidence, to use a lawyering term, I think there.
Big words for this late in the evening.
17-14 Loyola. The serve by Peter Selcho. And it's now 18-14. And side out for the Ramblers.
It's a bit of a coach's point, right? You use your long challenge. It's like a timeout. Freeze the server. Earn a point.
Schellinger with 17 kills today. Taking on his former team, UC San Diego, where he was an All-American last year. One of 3 All-Americans that were on the UC San Diego roster last year, as Chandler cuts it inside the block to get the Tritons within 3 again.
And UC San Diego has done a nice job hitting hard cross at the setter. And not that Smith, Van Ooyen, and Shosha aren't good at defense, but it's smart to take the setter out, or the setter side of the court out. They want to release to the net so that they can set. Typically leaves a little bit more of a hole on that side.
Chandler service error, 19-15 Ramblers.
And that's tough because we talked about on UC San Diego, they want to earn a point every time they go back to the line in order to dig out of this hole. So that was a tough first miss serve. The goal is to make your first serve into the court.
Lucas Anderson. Lures, middle, Garrison, 19-16. So now UC San Diego's gone to this 3-point mark, 17-14, 18-15, 19-16, but have not yet moved it any closer.
And on the UC San Diego side, their middles are hitting 500 and 600. Their pins are all below 300. So if they can keep that middle going.
And the middle, Garrison, the block. It's a 2-point difference. Timeout Loyola, 19-17. UC San Diego trailed this set 9-0. And now they're within 2, trying to come back not only in the match itself, but come back in this set to force a 5th.
Yeah, you don't love when your team starts off down in a giant hole like that, but as a coach, sometimes I think in preseason, I want to see my team in hard situations so that they can fight back.
See what your team is made of.
I don't want them to be down 0-9, but now that we are, what a great learning experience to have against a top-tier program. It's hard to, you try to recreate it in practice. You set the score 2-9 and say, let's go, or you set it down 19-24 and you have to try to win the match, but it's not the same as doing it on the court in a match. So a good learning experience and opportunity for UC San Diego. Conversely, Loyola wants to hold the lead, right? You have 9 points up. It's hard sometimes not to back off the gas. So we want to see both teams working their hardest here.
Loyola 176 this set, 300 for the match. UC San Diego 294, 296 overall. Blocks even. A lot of service errors. Ramblers have the only aces. Shosha 18 kills, Schellinger with 17, Klein with 12 for the Ramblers. Sani's got 13, Chandler and Provednikov each with 9 for UC San Diego. They've got Peter Selcha with 5 blocks. Loyola has Aiden Klein with 5 blocks. Fabakovic against the triple block, punched by Lures. Put over the Klein block by Sebastiano Sani to make it 19-18.
And a nice pickup on UC San Diego, putting the ball up in a spot where they're able to put an aggressive tip over, again, into that right front hole where we've seen a little bit of defensive confusion on the Loyola side.
And now from down 9-0, a chance to tie it at 19. The serve by Provednikov. Overpass, but a huge block by Van Ooyen. And Van Ooyen gets a quick talking to as he had a little cheer in the face there. But I mean, you also got to say, I mean, this is the way this match is going. I mean, you got to let the players have a little emotion, and they do. 20-18. Lures back to Chandler, who had to reach out with the right hand to play it. Shosha through the block and down for his 19th kill. And Loyola stabilizing a bit here, 21-18.
And this is where, if you're UC San Diego, you wish you had a timeout, right? You're in this like little bit of a momentum spurt for Loyola, and you can't slow the match down. You've used a few of your subs. You don't want to toss somebody in there with, you only have 6 subs per set at this point.
They do have a challenge left to use. Sani. Van Ooyen goes to Shosha, high off the block. Cook lures. Sani tools it off the Rambler block, 21-19.
Yeah, smart set choices there in terms of keeping that Loyola middle. Aiden Klein is having to work pin to pin and blocking Chandler on the right, out on the left, moving back and forth, and able to just get a little bit of a hole in the block there. Smart set choice.
Sani, who had 14 kills in the 5-set win over Lewis last night, has 15 today. Trying to bring his team back and force a 5th set. But a big service error from Josh Ewert.
We had a few really good ones last time around that were important in coming back. So that's another one where, again, you're trying to make your first serve, trying to go on a little bit of a run, down 3.
Fabakovic, who has struggled a bit on the attack today, trying to pick it up from the service line. Sani, and Got Loyola in the net on that block that was gonna, I think, get out of play anyways. 22-20.
It looked like as they tried to chase it down over the booth over there, it wasn't a clean contact coming back in. Plus a net violation.
Lures. Van Ooyen over to Schellinger. That's in. 18th kill for Josh Schellinger. 23-20.
And Loyola really pushing the pace to the outside there. That's a low shoot, not able to get his elbow all the way up, but well handled by Schellinger to sneak the ball down the line into that open space.
Aiden Delorier in to serve. Says a few words to the ball, looks like. And now serves it. Through the triple. Sani, 23-21.
Yeah, sometimes those weird ones where, you know, normally you set a 4 to the out, a quick to the middle and the back. That was somewhere up in the middle. You don't practice blocking that.
Yeah.
So it's a little harder to form your full triple block when it's not in a true position. And well handled by Sani to keep it in, find the seam, score point.
Sani the serve. Soa passes to Van Ooyen. Sets it for Shosha. And Loyola will now have match point at 24-21 off of Shosha's 20th kill of the day.
Anyone says that he's silent, he turned around and cheered very loudly after that particular play. But also brings Bryce Robinson. Loyola does not have a setter on the court, so we'll see who takes second contact on the Loyola side.
Shosha serving match points. Chandler, the block, out of bounds. Point UC San Diego. We continue on. Be match point number 2 for Loyola. Tritons need 2 more in a row here to push this one to overtime in the 4th set.
And Setchell has had some good service runs and some rougher service runs, so we'll see if he's able to keep the serve in. 900 square feet over there to aim at.
Schellinger gets it to Van Ooyen, back to Schellinger, who defeats his former team with his 19th kill. And Loyola wins it in 4 as they win the 4th set, 25-22. Schellinger and Shosha combine for 39 kills, and they hit 387 and 359 respectively. But Aiden Klein, the 12 kills, just 1 error, 733. 4 aces and 5 blocks. Plenty of strong performances on the Loyola side. UC San Diego, Sebastiano Sani with 17 kills. Luke Chandler with 10 in this great matchup, again, between teams.